for diversity, huh? Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the 2016 Spider-Man Wave Sandman Build-A-Figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can't get it right beyond
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And big thanks once again to Xmanny87 for making this review possible, as half this wave was my Christmas gift this year. Thank you so much, bro. I have been having so much fun with this wave. Very good wave. Anyway, on to the Build-A-Figure. The right leg came with the Jackal, the left leg came with the Shocker, the right arm with the fist came with the Spidey 2099, the left arm with the open hand. That one came with the Spider UK, the heads came with Green Goblin, the extra accessories over there, those came with the black suited Spidey, and then the torso came with Ms. Marvel. So let's get this thing built. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alright, so let's start with removing the heads over here. I mean, that was a nice piece of art. I'm sad to ruin it, but anyway, this is kind of funny, isn't it? So the legs, I like to start with the legs. This left leg is actually tricky to port in, and of course they are reusing... Oh, there it goes. So yeah, for the camera, it just happens very smoothly. But this is the Absorbing Man figure, if you didn't already pick up on that. Okay, right arm, get right in there, and then we get this other arm, and I accidentally detached this, so put that right back there. And then we'll just use this regular head and pop that on, which is actually quite... Yeah, and here's the Sandman figure, all built and posed. Looking pretty sick, I think. I think this is a very cool figure. I'm very happy with it. I think Hasbro did a good job. I think they stepped up their game a little bit with a lot of these sculpted details and the paintwork that we're getting in the sand constructs over here. I think they're very cool looking. I do have my gripes about this figure, though, the biggest of which is that we don't get interchangeable regular arms that don't have the constructs. That would have been nice. So that's a bit of a frustration for me, especially because King Marco's supposed to be able to wander the street incognito, you know what I mean? But so we can't have that display option with this figure. I'll mention some options later on in this video, but for the most part, I really do like this piece, and I think it looks very awesome, and I do like the articulation as well. So anyway, let's take a closer look at Sandman. So like the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure, we get two head sculpts with this Sandman, which I think is great. I really like having the two head sculpts, and we've seen this sculpt before. I like it once more, but we get different paint apps on here, of course. The teeth do look a bit mangled to me. It's just that we get that flesh tone in between his rows of teeth right there, and that just looks weird to me. And then if you wanted to see this next to the STCC version, you could see it's the same head sculpt right there. So yeah, just different paintwork, you know. It's kind of a trip what paint can do, you know. They look totally different, but they are the same sculpt. And then the hair looks very well done. You know, we've seen this before. Now comparing it to the other head sculpt, or not comparing it, but switching these out. Yeah, come on, get on there. Sometimes I do this thing where I actually breathe hot air onto the figure to make it pop on a little bit easier for me. Which looks ridiculous, I know, but this head sculpt right here is very impressive. Wow, I think that looks great. I love it. Check out the sand right over here on the side of his head. Boom, like Spidey just kicked him in the face. I love that. The teeth look really good on this one too. I wish they painted the tongue pink though. He has a flesh-colored tongue. That's a little bit weird, but I like how the jaw looks right there underneath. Some nice little details in there. Looks pretty cool. I'm digging that. I like how the eyes are whited out over there. I think it's pretty neat. He's in his mean version, I guess. And I really like how we get this gradient sand color moving into his more human-looking hair. You know, I think that's really cool how they did this. That's pretty awesome. I'm really digging that a lot. Very nice head sculpt and paintwork on this one. I love that we get variations of color in the sand right here, which is fairly consistent through all the sand that we see on this figure. I want to say that the head does look a little on the big side. I don't know. They just all are just starting to look big to me, and it just looks slightly out of proportion. But anyway, looking at the green shirt, I know some of you are sick of hearing me talk about the big heads, but it is a thing, and the more I mention it, maybe someone will notice. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why I bring it up. But the shirt and everything looks very good. Of course, this is the Absorbing Man body mold once again, and I really like how the greens came out on this. No shadowing effect or anything like that, but still it looks pretty good. You can see some of the sculpt right over there though getting a little mechanical. I don't like that. And then looking on the back of the figure, it looks pretty good. Some nice wrinkles and everything. And we get these new arms right over here, and these look sick. Oh man, that is awesome. I love the color variation with the tan and the darker brown. Really nice sculpted work in here. Inside of this big old hand with the little spikes and everything. Man, that is awesome. I really like this a lot. That is really cool. I'm digging that. This arm just looks really well done. A little attention to detail that I love about this though is that you can see how the green kind of blends into the sand just a little bit right there. Same thing on this side. You just see a little bit of the green, and just the way this fades in here I think is just beautifully done. Get that big fist right there. You can see how some of the parts are kind of like glued on there, but it doesn't really bother me too much. And I wish they could do something with the hinges. That kind of sticks out a little bit, but you know, as you pose it around, it doesn't really stick out too much. Just, you know, while observing it like this, you could really notice it. But as I get them into poses and everything, it doesn't really bother me that much. And then here's the belt on the figure, not looking too bad. Nice silver trimming right over there for the buckle. And then the pants, you know, not a whole lot going on, just a solid dark brown. And he does have some shiny black boots, and he still has the peg holes under his feet. Now let's not forget that he has some interchangeable parts over here. First off, we get this giant brick right there, looking pretty sweet. I'm digging that. I really like the paint on these too. The only problem is I get this one extra splotch right there, so that bothers me a little bit. I'll probably have to take an X-Acto knife and try to scrape that off. It's a little bothersome. And we also get this giant mace right over here, looking really cool as well. Some of the tips of the spikes right there seem to be missing a little bit of paint, but not a big deal. Overall, I think it's painted out very nicely. Then just to demonstrate interchanging these, it's very easy. You just pop it off right there. You can put either one on either side, and I think that is really cool. I like that a lot. Very fun to display. Now, onto the issue with the arms. If you want to have a relaxed Sandman arm, you could take the SCCC exclusive and plug it in like that. I mean, that's so weak, though. I wish they had given us an extra set of these. And who knows over there at Hasbro? Before you guys get all mad at Hasbro, just let me explain one thing. You don't know what's going on over there. There could have been somebody fighting tooth and nail to give us regular Sandman arms, but then somebody up above may have been like, no, not doing it, not doing it, and they could have been like, no, come on. Or it could have been just completely neglectful, and everybody from Hasbro was just thinking like, no, they should be fine with these arms. These are the battle arms. They don't need these. So you don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's possible that somebody from Hasbro could have been fighting for some regular arms, but I don't know. We'll find out at San Diego Comic-Con. I'll probably ask when we get there. Now, another option you can do is take an Absorbing Man arm. We only have one regular flesh Absorbing Man arm, so you could do that, and if you're a customizer, you can go ahead and paint this up if you want to, or, you know, get one of these and then just paint this one up. But yeah, either way, I don't know. It actually doesn't look that bad, I guess. I don't know. But there are options. Now, I did see Mr. Phil. He removed the bicep section on the arms and swapped them out, as you can see right over here. Doesn't look too bad. And then I had also tried doing something where I removed this piece at the elbow and tried to replace it with the piece where the elbow meets over here. So I took that pin out on each of these and swapped it, and it does not work just because this piece that sticks out over here is much longer than this piece, so I couldn't get the pin to go through. So I was hoping that would work, but it doesn't. And plus the color kind of looks weird. This is a much darker color compared to his flesh tone over there. So yeah, man, just wish we'd gotten those regular arms. See, the head looks just a little on the big side. Anyway, the articulation on this figure, we're very familiar with it. It's the same as Absorbing Man. You can look up just a little bit like that. If you wanted to half it, it looks kind of weird. You get more and more gappage, so that's a little strange. You can move the head downward. It will turn side to side, and you get some good head pivot right there. The shoulder joints move all the way outward. That's very cool. I like that. And they move down pretty far. You can move them forward. Bicep swivel. You get 90 degrees right over there. Just maybe a little bit more than 90 degrees at the elbow on both of these. So I think that's pretty cool. Then on all of the hands, you get a swivel, and they hinge up and down. All of them have that same hinge right there. And I think that's great that we have that. I really appreciate that a lot. I think that's awesome. We also get a good ab crunch that moves forward and it moves back. You do get the waist swivel. The hip joints move outward very far, and you can have them kick forward that much, move back some. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, only bend in that much. I wish we can get more of a bend. You could see some of the wrinkles are stopping that from happening. And then you can rotate the ankles side to side. You can shift them down a little bit. They move up just a tiny bit. I wish they could move up more than that, and he does have some decent ankle pivot. And then here's the figure at its widest stance possible, with both feet still flat on the floor. Now to measure out this Sandman figure, you can see he's standing all the way up at 8 inches tall. Now for our Sandman comparison, we have a brand new Build-A-Figure Sandman compared to the STCC exclusive and our previously released Toy Biz Sandman. Now I never thought this was a small Sandman, but seeing it compared to these other ones, yeah, it does look a little on the small side. I still really like this figure a lot. There's a lot of cool details in here. I might do a re-review of this guy at some point in the future. But out of these three, let me know which one is your favorite. And then here's our Build-A-Figure Sandman next to our Build-A-Figure Absorbing Man, and as you can see, they share the same body mold. Then comparing Sandman to the only other Sinister Six figures that we have from Hasbro, there's Electro and Kraven. So we just need three more: Mysterio, Vulture, and Dr. Octopus. Ooh, I don't know how Hasbro would do with the Doc Ock. Now one thing I want to say over here is that this guy does seem extremely oversized compared to these other Sinister Six characters. Bring back in the Toy Biz Sandman figure, you can see that Sandman is supposed to be taller than the other characters, but man, that is really huge. I guess maybe that's why they never gave him regular arms, right? Because this is like an ultra powered up Sandman where he's like in full effect. And then here's Sandman next to the other figures from this wave, and man, what a good wave this was! I really like this wave a lot. Thanks again, Manny. This is just a very cool set. Now, so cool that it has been very difficult for me to rank these figures, so I had to pick one to put at the very bottom of the list, and that one goes to Green Goblin, only because I already have my Toy Biz Green Goblin figure, and I really like that one a lot, but I really like that one too. It doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just that that's how it ended up just on my list. Anyway, next is Spider UK, just because there's some difficulty with the knee joints over there, and a pretty obscure character. And then I'm giving it to Ms. Marvel next. I wish we'd gotten a little bit more articulation in those elbows, but I still really like the Ms. Marvel figure. And then Sandman is right in the middle, just because I don't see myself at this point replacing my Toy Biz Sandman with this figure over here, as awesome as that is. And then above that is Shocker, because I can see myself replacing my current Toy Biz Shocker with the Hasbro Shocker. And then I'm giving it to the Spidey 2099 over there. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of that suit, I do like the figure a lot. And then above him is the black suited Spidey. I know it's just a repaint, but man, I had so much fun posing that figure around, and I'm very excited to have an updated black suited Spidey. And the number one spot goes to the Jackal. I'm most stoked about the Jackal because A, I've been wanting this character in action figure form, and he's one of the few that don't have ultra-sized heads. All of these figures have extra large heads except for Ms. Marvel, Jackal, and Green Goblin. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time No Letdown Spider-Man. Ooh, I've always wanted to do this. Sure you can! Yeah, you got something on your face. Aw. I may think I don't like this figure, but I really do like it. It's very fun to pose. I mean, just look at that, man. That looks badass. That is just so cool. I'm really happy with this piece. I may like it more over time because I've really been a big fan of this Toy Biz Sandman for a very long time, so it may just take a little bit more time for this one to grow on me to the point where I'll like it more than the first version that I have, but I still really like this piece a lot. I think Hasbro did a really good job with it. I mean, man, that looks cool. It's a very cool looking piece. Anyway, I hope you guys liked my review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so you can stay tuned with more Shartimus Prime videos. And if you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that notification bell, especially if you're on your cell phone. That way you know when the latest Shartimus Prime video is coming at your face. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's over at marvelousnews.com. And you can buy my action figures over at ShartimusPrime.net. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Posing action figures, I'm posing